Howdy y'all, Bob with Million Mile Garage. Hope you're enjoying your time off this week. I'm up here in the mountains in North Georgia somewhere, just enjoying a little fresh air. It's about, I guess it's about 50 degrees out here. Really enjoying the sunlight, and my sister gave me some Matchbox cars, kind of as a gag, but I still appreciate them nonetheless. These are Matchbox cars, 1/64 scale. The one on the far left up here is actually a Maisto, and that's a 55 Chevrolet. I thought it'd just be cool to talk about these for a few minutes, just because I have such an appreciation for all automobiles and a pretty wide knowledge base for, I think, just about all cars. And I thought I'd just talk about these for a little bit this morning. So just looking at the 55 Chevrolet, that's kind of what started it all, right, for GM. The little small block Chevrolet, that was the first year, 1955. And the two notable engine options for that year, probably the most common, would have been the 160 horse, 265 cubic inch two-barrel V8, mated to either a 2-speed power glide transmission or a 3-speed manual, column shifted. And the next option up the evolution ladder would have been the Power Pack, which would have been a 4-barrel 265 V8, rated at 180 horsepower. I think they had some other engine options too, maybe going all the way up to 220, not sure. Probably 2 4-barrels maybe. I'm not sure they did that under 265 or not. But this Maisto here is a pretty nice replica. To cut costs, and they're kind of doing what Universal Group did in the 70s when they were selling stuff through Kmart. Not that I'm saying Maisto is part of Universal Group, but it's that same formula. They're basically selling these for less than $1, so they're about 21 cents less than a Matchbox car before tax. And the only window this has is the windshield, and it's blacked out. There's no interior, and then the rest of it is just blacked out to kind of mimic windows. Kind of cool. They actually go through the trouble to serialize them, or at least put a date code on them. Kind of cool. I'd say overall for the money, that's a really nice replica that is rated for ages 3 and up, or in my case, age 57 and up. So you could give that to a 3-year-old, and they shouldn't be able to pull any parts off of it that they can choke on. Or you can keep it as a nice replica on your shelf, which is probably what I'll do. Parked next to it is a Matchbox, and I think this was number 29 in the lineup of 100 for this year, and this would be an anniversary model. All these came in anniversary packaging. And this is a really nicely detailed 1960 Chevrolet Elcamino. And let me just kind of get it in the light here so you can kind of marvel at it. And that's some kind of, mint metallic julep green, whatever color that looked like something a 60 Chevy would have come in. And they've got a lot of detail on the front. It's got a chrome grille, a chrome base, and you can see the manufacturing number on it, which is MB1284. And there's a date code there just above where it says Matchbox. I think focus in on that. And I think that says S11. And so that would be the 11th week of 2023. So if you're winning anniversary models, you're running out of time this year. And the designer on this thought so much of this. I know it's a tombstone steering wheel. It's a one-piece interior. But he actually did scale a steering wheel that looks like a 1960 Chevrolet steering wheel. Very nice. Full tampo on the rear. Absolutely gorgeous replica. I don't know how well I'm getting that to focus for you. Let me put it down like it's looking at it. Absolutely gorgeous. Some interesting fun facts about the 1960 Chevrolet. I think this Elcamino, probably the most popular drivetrain, would have been the 170 horsepower 2-barrel 283 small block V8. I guess then into its 5th year of production. The 327 hadn't come along yet, but they did have some big block options for 1960. So this 60 Elcamino could have been optioned with a 315 horsepower triple carbureted 348 cubic inch big block. And with a 4-speed, I think Hot Rod Magazine clocked an 0 to 60 in 7 seconds on one of these back in the day. Pretty cool. Part next to the 1960 Chevrolet is the Matchbox. I think that's the number 32 in the series of 100, and this would be the 1953 Buick Skylark convertible. This was definitely, I think, at the top of the rung for Buick in 1953. And I think 53 was the first year for the nailhead Buick, which I think in its original form was 322 cubic inches and 188 horsepower, mounted to a Dynaflow automatic or a 3-speed synchromesh transmission. Pretty cool. I'm just going to pause for a second. Had to get a refill on the coffee. Anyway, taking this beautiful replica and rolling it over. We can see this one was also made in the 11th week of 2023 because it's S11. And you can see the manufacturing number on this one is MB1241. This is a 1953 Buick Skylark, trademark GM. It's got a full chrome base. It's got a nice chrome grille. It's got tampo for the hood emblem and the headlights. Very nice. Unfortunately, didn't get a pass on the tail lights of the trunk lid. Full pass on the sides. You got that beautiful Skylark script there, along with the little medallion in front of the rear wheel. Looking inside, you can see that they actually did not do a tombstone wheel. They tend not to do that on the convertibles. So we can kind of get it where we can not have it shadowed so badly. You can see that the floor is a little shiny. So the only way you can get the details on a one-piece interior on a steering wheel is if you have a cutout in the floor so that the mold can get you know, the top and bottom of the steering wheel. And they do kind of mold a detail into the chassis to simulate a floor, although it's not as subtle, you know, when it's a chrome chassis. And I love the wheels on this. Very appropriate 50s color too, right? Some kind of cream yellow color. All these are GM vehicles too, by the way. This is a 1975 Opel Kadett. I think it's called a C. So we can focus on the rear here. See how good we can get that. I don't know how well you can see that. It does say Kadett C on the license plate. And it's got a full tampo on the rear, so it's got tail lights, and it also has a grille. Very cool. I love this color, a very 70s color, right? Kind of a bright orange. I don't know a lot about Opels, but the Opel Kadett C, I think it had an optional 1.2 liter engine that was rated at 59 horsepower at 5,400 RPM. So I think that was at the top of the rung for the Opel Kadett C, I guess kind of like a GT model. I don't remember any of these in the States in 1975. I do remember the 1973 models, and I also remember the Opel Manta, which was kind of like looked like a mini Corvette. But keep in mind, you know, this was a couple years after the oil crisis we had over here in the States in 1973. So small little cars like that became very popular, along with Vegas, and then later Chevettes. You also had Pintos. Volkswagen Beetles were popular before that. They were high quality cars. But this was probably kind of a time to be building cars when it wasn't a great time to be building cars. Although I think maybe the Opel nameplate still lives on in Europe. Kind of interesting since we've lost Oldsmobile and Pontiac out of the GM lineup along with Saturn. But I think Opel still soldiers on. Kind of interesting. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying your day. I'm definitely enjoying my day. I always have cars on the brain, whether it's little ones, big ones. I kind of think in 3D, so seeing these cars, it makes it easy for me to visualize them in real life and also remember the details. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.